Hello, welcome in. I wanted to pop on here in the middle of all of the holiday hustle to just breathe for a moment and really just set off into the fray of the rest of my day, knowing that I took a little moment to connect with my higher self, and I invite you to do the same now. I'm coming at you from a different angle. I don't think I've had my face on here since last month, but I'm here. It's me. I've been behind the camera, and here we are on the scene of our December altar, and we are coming through solstice in the midst of Yule, and we are counting down to Christmas Day. So lots going on here. The kids have early dismissal from school. Some of them are just arriving. Cooper is welcoming them in, so you may hear all of those sounds as well. But that is the challenge, is to find that peace within, right? This week, going back over our cards, which as I reflected on them this morning, sharing the Friday message on my social media spaces, the messages that are all playing here now on the Sharecast, you may recall that this week started with the world, peace on earth, and the idea that we were at the center of all of that. And the essence of holly came forward, and I felt a connection to that right away. I think on some level it was a personal nod for me to reconnect with the Bach flower essences, which is a beautiful energetic medicine that helps us to balance our emotions and to move through different energies that come up that the flowers and plant medicine can help us with. And so holly is one. And in my interpreting of the cards, I was saying hatred, which is one, to bring us back to love. Another major aspect of it is jealousy and envy. And I think that happens here in this season a lot in our culture with the comparisonitis and the expectations of what Christmas is to be, or what these, holiday memories and moments should look like and feel like and be like. And then the reality can be so very different. So nod to me, and another reminder, because I have yet to get myself up from this space to go get my hydration on, and I'm going to put a couple drops of a few of the essences that are speaking to me today before I descend back into the she shed where all of the Christmas magic happens. But that being said, let's bring in another essence of new light. And that's actually the candle we have burning here too. This is a beautiful energy that I've been sharing this month that has in it frankincense, lemon, and cedar. Very grounding, but also just a fresh energy of stepping into the new and bringing the light from within. Also, we have the warm and cozy energies of the essence of Christmas. And so what this is, my intention is that no matter where you are and how you're experiencing this season, whether you celebrate or not, whatever is coming up for you, I think this is all a part of these final weeks of December, ramping up for the full moon in Cancer, which will be on the 26th, the day after Christmas Day. And of course, Cancer brings up family, home, a lot of deep emotions. It's the essence of, the water element and the moon herself. So surely this is going to be a beautifully reflective and feeling moon, and I will be diving into those energies for our empowerment pack. And as always, I will offer that reading to anyone else who would like to join us. It will be the final lunation of the year, this full moon that is this great cleansing point where we can really allow all of that to be washed away. So I've already started dipping into those energies and we'll be sharing that forthcoming, but just feeling a nod to that of just as far as allowing yourself to be wherever you are throughout the season. So let's go ahead and pull some cards before it gets really crazy up in here. We are going to use this beautiful winter Waite with all of its holiday flair and energy, with that lovers on the bottom. energy I'm feeling here for bringing in a nod to all that the holidays can bring in for us. The lessons, the blessings, the growth, the healing, and the expansion. So wherever you are, however and whenever you're receiving this message, by the way, being in your own hustle, you may not see this before Christmas, and that is just fine. My intention for our collective group is to bring forward a couple of messages here for us around this weekend. I won't be pulling cards for the week ahead on Sunday, Christmas Eve. So just kind of taking the week. I'll be popping in though, so do look forward to that. However, just want to see what's coming forward for us and what to know, do, and be as we go into this holiday weekend and move into the coming week. So let's take a look and see what's coming forward. I'm not going to be able to skip the commercials that are coming in on the YouTube music that I'm listening to. There it goes. Just a brief intermission. I think there's something to that. As I was thinking before people started coming in and distracting me, walking by, that's just it. Finding the peace within, in the midst of the fray, in the midst of the noise, in the midst of all of the hustle, the bustle, you know, the panic, the crowds, the traffic, the long lines, you know, however you're experiencing it. I try to avoid a lot of that stuff. But, you know, in the case that it may be showing up for you in one form or the other, the great task being finding the peace within. You know, finding that still quiet place inside that we're able to come back into when we find the world to be restless. So let's see, 3 cards to know, do, and be for this weekend. What do we got? Ooh, yeah, there it is. In fact, the 7 of Wands. Look at that. That is literally what I was just describing, the fray. Okay, the fray, the holiday fray. And like I said, you might be experiencing this very differently, and that is just okay. Just wherever you are, it's the vibration of the collective energy that we may be picking up on. So to do, action for you to do. It's funny, I was going to say from this angle, I get Mr. Rogers, the land of make-believe. If you know, you know. But how sometimes he would come onto the set with the puppets and he was like this big human, like on this little set. That's how I feel. And then I feel like the holiday jazz coffee shop music I have playing reminds me of like the Mr. Rogers music, the intro, outro, as like the trolley was riding along. So just getting a big old nod to Mr. Rogers, which is beautiful because gosh, what a beautiful human he was, and what a message of Christ consciousness that he brought into this world. So I think there might be something to that too. I'm hearing his look for the helpers. You know, that beautiful message that he says about times in our world, you know, when things are scary or things are happening that we don't understand, that his mother would always tell him to look for the helpers. And I feel that way about this energy too. You know, like if we find ourselves kind of getting lost in stuff that doesn't matter at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, you know, all of that weight that we might be carrying, to really come back to seeking out the magic, seeking out the helpers, seeking out what is beautiful that we can harness. So what to do? Ah, there it is. Yes, answer the call. Answer the call. So this was our card last week. The other deck, the Winter Waite Redux, brought up another judgment card, very similar but glittery. It was last Monday's card. Rising up, answering the call, stepping into a place of authenticity and what? Non-judgment. No guilt, no shame, not the jealousy and the envy and the comparisonitis, but just standing up uniquely. Shining our own light. Really beautiful to do. And so finally, the 3rd card will be, to receive, to open up, to just be. So let's see what energy is coming forward there. Ooh. You can't make it up. We're here for it. We are here for it. So we got 2 cards. We got the Queen of Swords and prelude to 2024, the Strength card. So this is card 8 of the Major Arcana, the Strength card, which is the card of 2024, the archetypal energy that we will be diving into, especially if you are having a year ahead reading with me. We're really going to be talking about this energy of 8 and this archetype. But the two coming together is really beautiful because, you know, this week, the challenge was the Ace of Swords, which I talked about, you know, in the face of Mercury retrograde, communications being, you know, on the fritz, being challenged, you know, expressing ourselves, being able to speak our truth, you know, all of those things, or even just taking action, being in balance with exactly this message. You know, this is a message of taming the beast within, of coming to a place of gentle strength, of having grace and courage, you know, really, really beautiful energy to just be with. And when that part of yourself starts rearing its, you know, head, and like I said, I don't want to project my Christmas crazy on you. But let's just say if you have a lot of responsibilities, if you have a lot of to-do items, if you are feeling overwhelmed by all of those things that may awaken a certain part of yourself, an inner child perhaps, that's feeling like wanting to be able to have more time for fun and play and just being and enjoying, that is pushing back at the notion that you have all these things to do or that you need to be anything other than what you are for anybody, enter in the Queen of Swords. The energy of being able to say the thing, do the thing, cut to the crux, and look what's on her throne. Holly. You see, Holly. So, you know, flower essences or not, that's just the path that those spiritual breadcrumbs came to me in order to share it with you. Although it is very beautiful and very interesting to look into, you know, just the medicine that can come from that, but also just embracing the symbolism of holly. And again, a little bit sharp on the outside, putting up those boundaries, which is reminding me to come back to the beginning so we can talk about this beautiful 4-card spread that wanted to come forward, starting with this card, you know, this 7 of Wands. Again, Wands were on the docket this week. We had the Ace of Wands as our midweek blessing, and we have the Queen of Wands as today's energy. So again, like the Queen of Swords, harnessing the magic, bringing in all of the sparks and the warmth and the passion and the creativity of Wands, but yet also needing to summon some of that inner, I want to say bee, like a bee, head bee in charge, you know, being able to lay it down. Like, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. This is what I need, you know, asking for what is needed, you know, being able to fend off all of the excess, you know. So it is about setting boundaries. It is about, you know, recognizing that there's a lot of people that are projecting their everything on each other right now, and not to take anything personally. That's another aspect I'm feeling, is like, take nothing personally, you know. So there's an aspect of that as well. Recognizing that people are moving through their own stuff, and that so often it is a reflection of them, not of you. And also look at the way that, you know, that could be true for you. If you're feeling some type of way about an interaction with someone, is it possible that you were bringing something more into it, or reading more into it, you know, and taking accountability for those things, to know that that's in the air, you know. But that if we're finding that peace within, if we know that it comes from inside of us, radiating out as that ripple effect, as that pay it forward, in our chariots, driving around, dealing with the drivers and the traffic and all of the madness, if you're in that space, or just a energetic example of that energy in your interactions with people, then, you know, sort of taking that deep breath, coming back to center, getting grounded, and being able to decide, as for me, this little light of mine, what am I shining out into the world? so paying it forward, that act of kindness, that smile, that may be allowing someone to go in front of us or whatever it may be. So that is to know. Then we have to do the action, which folds very nicely in here with this major arcana card of judgment, answering the call. This is Gabriel, the messenger angel. Look what's on the little banner there hanging. Holly. I mean, there are other Christmas flowers and symbols that could be there, but it's not. It's holly, isn't it? So, the breadcrumbs continue to fall. So here we have this energy of answering the call, right? The messenger angel. Gabriel is such a beautiful essence that speaks to soul calling and guidance. So I think, beyond this weekend, beyond just, getting through and navigating everything and hopefully also enjoying too, not just surviving, but thriving, is this, opportunity to really put some intentional thought around that, my soul calling and guidance, and thinking about what I want to bring with me into the new, especially as we build up to that full moon in Cancer, because we want to leave the rest behind. They're literally rising up from crypts. They're rising up out of caskets. This idea of, and again, naked, vulnerable, authentic. How have you judged yourself and others? How have you been judged? And thinking about releasing all of that energy, those old stories, those old beliefs, that old operating model that's ready for an upgrade. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm getting right now. I'm literally getting like on our phone when there's an upgrade available and you haven't done it yet. You keep snoozing it. Do it tonight. Try it again later when I'm not online, trying to like cram everything and get everything done. I don't have time for that upgrade right now. What often happens for me is that it can't run the update because my stuff's too full. I have too many apps, too many files, too many things open all the time. I've talked extensively about my energetic clutter. So that is all a physical manifestation of something energetic that is available for me to take a look at. So that when you think about this, it's like you have a new upgrade available that's waiting for you to install. And in order for you to run that update, you need to clear out some stuff, some things that are in the coffin, okay? That you're going to allow to just sink back down and be buried, right? To release. You're packing lightly because you're heading out as the Fool into the new. So, thinking about that, if I had to make space on my phone or my device to run an update, what do I need to clear in order to update my operating model? And the idea that, when you first make some improvements, some upgrades, that there's kinks, right? It doesn't always work right. Sometimes they have to recall, they have to fix, right? So, I'm just getting this analogy, Metatron, of, allowing ourselves to step forward boldly. This is where the strength energy comes in. Boldly and unapologetically so. This is literally what these cards are saying. Recognizing that there are going to be some bumps along the way. We're not going to get it perfect. And it is going to feel uncomfortable and weird because that's not how we're used to doing things. This is an old story. This is an old template that we've been operating off of for a very long time. And this is as a collective too, by the way. So again, as I'm driving around in my chariot, grand finale of 2023, figuring out what my role is going to be, who I am behind the driver's seat, that I know that the contributions that I am making have that ripple effect out into the world. So I recognize that the little ways that I can make changes within me help to move the collective to the new operating model, right? To do the upgrade that we have yet to be able to install here on Earth, right? Wow. Okay. Okay, Metatron. Yeah, it's like we've had this upgrade waiting for us in our system preferences, right? In our settings that we haven't been able to upload because we have too much stuff that needs to clear. So I want to give the gift of doing my part to clear what I can to create space. Beautiful. Okay. Well, let's leave that there and pull us one final Yule Oracle card. So this is the seasons of the Witch Yule. She's brought through some really beautiful messages this season. The feasting message this week was doubly amplified when I went back and listened to that part of Stars and Cards, which I did share a little preview of that video that's now, it's a long one. So if you're sitting wrapping gifts or baking cookies or watching, Netflix or whatever you're doing, if you want to listen to it, it's there. It's a longer one, but we were bringing through a lot of messages. And what I thought was really cool was that we also brought forward swords and wands, just like the two aces that were on our altar this week. So it really felt like a continuation of like when we tapped into those collective energies last week, when we all tapped into them on Sunday, it was very consistent in bringing forward the wands and the swords. And yep, here we are again. Other than two major arcana cards, we've got wands and swords, fire, air. Right? This beautiful energy that's coming in for expression of passion, of creation, of birthing. So let's see, what is our Yule message? Sorry. I thought that's what it said, solstice. How perfect. So yesterday was solstice, depending on where you are in the world, winter or summer. And so here we have this beautiful message of solstice. Let me take a look at her. I'm getting a little of that triple moon energy too, looking at the 3. Solstice, card 34, which is of course a 7 energy. All hail the cunning truth in which it burns deep within root. Rise above the ashes and claim the gods are awaiting your glory, your name. Okay, I'm going to put her here. I totally feel like Mr. Rogers right now. Maybe we should do this more often. I could have like a little diorama. Oh, that's great. Listen, I'm making myself laugh. So if you've hung in here with me, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all endlessly. Okay, solstice. Keywords: ignited fire within, finding self, truth. Literally the cards that we have coming forward. We all experience times when you feel the need to retreat, hide, or lick your wounds. This is especially true after experiencing a betrayal, displacement, a significant life change, or a brutal loss. Slipping away into the darkness is a critical part of healing. It allows you time away from other people's often critical eye to break down and purge the emotional weight you're carrying. However, one must be careful about spending too much time in this healing space. You can become lost in the comfort of darkness and forget to come back to the light where others have the joy of basking in your glory. Solstice asks you to permit yourself to let your inner light shine. You have hidden your beauty for far too long. You may be feeling vulnerable and afraid. Right? So you may be feeling vulnerable and afraid, but know that there are people out there who want what you have to offer. Having a breakdown isn't a fun process, but building yourself back up can be truly liberating and beautiful experience. It's time to rise from the ashes, sacred one, and allow yourself to fly. Wow. Okay. So, like I said, I actually have the cards for this week right here. Now, I know they're going to be super shiny under this light, but right. So this she kicked us off this week, right? In all of her amazing, beautiful, holly enrobed glory, of peace on earth, starting from within, starting with you, shining your light, unapologetically so, right? Bringing in this energy of balancing out the imbalance of the disempowered and aspects of Holly, jealousy, envy, hatred, anger, right? Bringing that back into balance and harmony. And of course, she was following the energy of the Judgment card, which we had last Monday. And here it is again. Archangel Gabriel, the messenger, with a holly banner hanging off of the horn like toot to toot. The time is now to do all the things that the solstice message is bringing forward. So once again, potential block or challenge to speak our truth, to do the thing, to take action, to express, to know what's true, to uncover the truth, to discern the truth in the midst of the blizzards of information and disinformation that are coming at us, and so much more, right? This was our card for that energy. The blessing was in the reigniting of our passions, of that fire still burning within, despite all of those things. That was this offering of an inspired idea, of clarity, of an aha moment that's coming in for the taking, and the reminder that it may not look the way we expect. It may not be wrapped in very appealing packaging, but there is a blessing and a lesson to be found in all. Yesterday with solstice came this beautiful, chivalrous, gentle offering coming in with the cups, which also brings us very importantly back into the heart. So yes, we have the fire, we have the air. Here is the water for the heart chakra, for coming into the heart, for great healing, also to lead with love. And then finally, joining her sister on the throne, the Queen of Wands, to join our Queen of Swords together, bringing forward both the fire and the air, the truth and the passion, right? All of this beautiful energy coming together. Holly and the sunflower, which I talked about in the Friday message with the sunflower, standing tall, but also turning towards one another and supporting each other with our light and warmth when the other is in need. So there's a really beautiful message there too. Okay, thank you for entertaining me for my little land of make-believe over here. But I think the message there is that it might feel like a Christmas miracle to bring about some of those things. But even if just in our little group here, we all understood, remembered that magic is within each of us, and that we hold the power within us to express this uniquely, our light into the world. And I thank you for being here, for being a part of it. Look at that. Being a part of growing in the flow, which is all about growing through what we're going through. So thank you for being here. I'm sending you so much love, peace, joy. It is my heart's intention to send you all of the good wishes wherever you are, however you are, over this Christmas holiday. Thank you so much for being a part of my life and giving me this place to share my light with you. And to that I say, namaste. Much love. Merry Christmas.